Hey everybody, it's Matt Shu from Upright Health, and today we're going to talk about your hands and wrists. If you use the computer a lot, if you use your cell phone a lot, you may have noticed that your hands and wrists don't like that so much. I have personally had some issues with my hands and wrists over the years. I had really bad problems back in college and after college. And then recently I actually started getting some weird clicking and popping and instability in my wrists, and I couldn't figure it out, but I have figured it out, and I'm going to share 2 quick exercises that will be really helpful for you if you have issues similar to me. What does it mean if you have wrist issues like me? Well, let me tell you what mine are like. If I use the laptop too much, if I use the cell phone for a whole bunch of texting and typing, my thumbs and wrists will start to bug me. So the thumb will start feeling super tight, and then the outside of the wrist will just feel like it's cracky and poppy and just a little unstable. And then if I try to bend like this, I'll actually feel like I'm getting jammed up on the side of the wrist. So what actually solves that is, number one, making sure my shoulders are functioning well and they're not all crappy and tucked in like this all the time. If you have that problem, then you definitely want to check out the Shoulder Fix. That's a self-help program to help you train your shoulders to stay in the right position. Okay, so that is super important. And then the other piece of the puzzle for me is doing the exercises that I'm about to show you, and making sure that the forearm muscles stabilize the wrist properly and that there's a balanced function across this joint. So I've actually stolen these exercises from gymnastics warm-up routines for doing the handstand, and I am working to do a handstand, and that's why I've started doing these more and more. These really help. Just think about how active finger muscles and wrist muscles need to be to do a handstand, and it becomes really clear why these are helpful. Okay, so let's get to these exercises. The first 2 exercises are very closely related. So one is going to be kind of a finger push-up, and then the other one is going to be fingertip push-ups. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to start here on the floor is how I'm doing it, but you could do this on a chair, you could do this against a wall, whatever works for you, but I'm just going to show you on the floor here. You're going to come down onto your palms. You don't need to put a lot of weight into your hands, just keep a little bit of weight, especially when you're getting started. And you're just going to lift the palms off the floor by pressing your fingers into the floor. So I'm keeping pressure into the floor, pushing down, and as I'm pushing with those fingers, I'm feeling muscles coming all the way down the forearm, working to lift me up like this. Okay, so it's just a little miniature hand push-up, a little miniature finger push-up. So I can do sets of 5 to 20, possibly even more if it feels like your body can tolerate it. And then we can transition into doing fingertip push-ups. Okay, so then we're going all the way up on fingertips. Again, you don't need to make this a huge effort. We're just trying to warm things up, get some blood moving through these muscles. A quick tip that is helpful for me is making sure that I keep weight out to the pinky and the ring finger sides when I'm doing both of those exercises. So showing you in this direction, if I don't keep attention on the pinky and the ring finger, what happens is this, right? Now I'm no longer getting any work happening on that lateral aspect, or from anatomical position, this is the medial aspect. So on this medial aspect of the forearm, I want to make sure I keep getting muscle activity. So I need to keep those fingers down in contact. If I'm doing just the palm version, if I'm just doing the finger push-up, then I'm going to keep my weight out to the outside, the base of the pinky and the ring finger there. Okay, so those first 2 exercises, really helpful for getting this part of the forearm. Make sure you are using the full part of your forearm while you're doing these. Now, the third one is going to be the fist push-ups. So I'm going to show you how I do it now, and then I'll show you a couple regressions that will help you if this doesn't work for you. So if you got your fist down and you can go just like this, you're basically allowing the wrist to go into controlled flexion, and then you come back up and out of it. Now, if you have trouble achieving this position, if this just doesn't feel like it's going to happen, or it's like, oh God, just too hard, put one hand down. If you have If you can do it with just one hand and you have the mobility to do this, then this is perfect, this is fine. If you find like you get here and you're just like, ugh, and then your fingers open up because it's just something feels wrong and you can't get there, then what you want to do is let the fingers open up. Come here like this with the palm up. You have the wrist in flexion, your fingers are open, and then you can try to close them slowly and carefully. So what you're going to be doing here is stretching out the muscles of the forearm so that your wrist can achieve its normal range of flexion, okay? And then as you do this, that's going to help you loosen it up. It may take you a little bit of time, a couple days, a couple weeks of practicing this to get that open. And then once you have done that, you can start working it like that. I mean, I say once you've done that, you can start working it. You could start working it like this, just gently, and just gradually like improve your form on it. So let's say you're doing this, it's really, really tight. You do that 5-10 times, and then you start going into a little bit of practice just like that. That's totally okay. Just be mindful of your own limits, yeah? So you want to get the mobility and then practice, and even that practice will help you get more of that mobility. Then once you feel like you can start testing this out. Again, keep things under control. You don't need to load it really heavy, okay? So those are the 3 exercises I find super, super helpful for my wrists to do throughout the day. All right, guys, I hope you find those exercises helpful for you and your wrists and hands in your digital life. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and give us a like. You will find a link in the description section on YouTube. And be sure to check out the Shoulder Fix at theshoulderfix.com. You will find a link to that also in the description. Be sure to be good to yourself, and remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.